Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you're following this along, if you've totally lost hope, then I completely understand. I have I don't know, I've just completely and utterly lost all will to live. Not to live, obviously. It's quite dramatic as I am. But I'm recording this because I just had to have a bit of time to myself to really think about stuff and really consider like where I'm at, what's going off in my own head. Because I have just completely spiraled from my 40th birthday, like you would not believe. And it's like I got myself into a spiral of really beating myself up and being really harsh on myself, and my journey became just a bit skewered. And it is a journey, and it is something that I need to really consider and think about because I don't want to lose it. And like, I watch other people on YouTube, and I've like been watching and listening and thinking about what's going on, and really like looking back at my old videos and just thinking I need to get to the bottom of what's like throwing me here. So my weight loss journey of the last like 6 months has been absolutely fucked up. Now, I'm not one to really mince my words. I'm not one to sit here and go, oh, well, I've had this going on, I've had this going on. I have had stuff going on, but I feel like it's important for me to have looked at that to really help myself move forward. And I'm not saying that I'm there with that yet, but I wanted to upload this so then I can actually like think about what's going on. So I have put on like a stupid amount of weight, really, about 2.5 stone. And I just can't shift that. Like, I do 3 or 4 days on a diet and then something comes up. So the last start that I did, I'm saying restart, but the last week that I recorded that I was trying to do something about my weight, my daughter came back from London. So she's been training in London because she's going to work on cruise ships. I wanted to have family time because I'm not going to see her for 9 months. And part of that, well, a massive part of that is like us eating as a family, spending time together. And I just didn't want to think about anything or anybody else, including myself, other than her. And that's what I did. So I came off my diet. I ate whatever I wanted to. From there, she's then gone back to London, got an aeroplane over to Athens, and she's now boarded her cruise ship. That I have found really quite stressful. Tia is my oldest daughter and is my absolute shadow and constant. And I'm trying not to be really maudie about it and really like, I don't know what the word is, selfish, I suppose. I'm trying to just put it all down to her, but ultimately it has massively emotionally thrown me. I felt lost, I felt quite insecure. It's wobbled my little world. With that, it's thrown me into a tangent of like emotional eating. It's not really dawned on that hasn't really dawned on me, and I think it's been a few months that I think I'm going through the change as well. That sent me really emotional and really all over the place. Lily's life's changing, and there's just been a lot of stress, like a lot of things going on. Me and Oliver are both self-employed. We've got like a couple of big holidays booked that like we went to Turkey, and that was like 2 weeks off work. Financially, we've been put under a bit more pressure than what we usually are. We run 3 businesses together. It's just life has just absolutely like completely flooded over me, and I've lost the like ability to put myself first and think about what I need and what's good for me. It's just been, I feel like I've been on survival streak where it's just been about getting through each day. I've just wanted to eat shit. I've craved shit. I've just wanted to not really put a lot into myself. And I think dieting and changing a lifestyle requires a lot of like your mental capacity, and I've just not had that to give. That being said, through like a week's worth of reflection, and I'm saying a week's worth of reflection, I've been looking at stuff prior, but really fundamentally, like really looking into it. I feel like I've lost the onus of like what I actually started this journey for. So I really wanted to get a lot fitter. I wanted to change a lot of aspects about me. And I think I did that quite successfully. I got this drive, I got this motivation to move forward. But then I got really quite comfortable in it. It became a bit of a like, I stopped trying and my brain just focused on everything else. And I got lost. I genuinely got lost in myself. So this morning I have, like yesterday, I was off sick. It was, I had Monday off of work and then I was supposed to return to work on Tuesday, but I think I got food poisoning and I threw up Monday night like you would not believe. I had the dickiest tummy in the world. And yesterday I just could not eat anything. And I spent a lot of time on my own and I was watching videos and answering messages that I got on my channel and things like that. And it made me reignite a bit of like consciousness about what I'm doing. Now, I am not saying that I've resolved all my issues that I've got going off at the minute. I'm not saying that I feel better about them and I'm like, oh my God, I've like woke up and I'm refocused and I'm going to do A, B, and C. I'm not, because I don't think that that's going to be a thing that I'm going to achieve within a few seconds, a few days, maybe even a few weeks. But what I have thought is that I need to be a bit more self-conscious about putting things into myself and doing something for myself. So one, I've got up this morning and I've got reweighed. I'd got a bit of a thing with the scales where I was I was obsessed with it. I was getting weighed continuously. And I don't think that's healthy for me. I don't think it is at all. I can tell with my clothes that I put weight on. And I was either avoiding the scales if I'd had like a few bad days, or I was obsessively like weighing myself on to try and see those go down. I think that is really unhealthy and something that I need to consider. I think that I just need to stick to just getting weighed like on a Thursday, and that is that. And if I don't feel like getting weighed, then that's okay. But I do need to really like get my head back into being kind to myself. Stop hating and hurting myself with my own thoughts and feelings, and look at this from a better point of view. What's really weird is I know what's right for me. I know that I feel better when I'm eating better and I'm doing better, and all round I know that that is what I want. However, I don't know why, but I don't seem to be able to do it for myself. And that is something I need to alter. My onus and focus has been on Oliver, Lily, and Tia. And as much as a mum and like a wifey, although I'm not married, but I'm here. I can't get my camera to stay in the right position. Sorry. As much as that's like where parts of me I want me to be there, I don't actually want to fully be there because I lose scope of looking after myself. So I returned to work after quite a bit of time off because I've not been very well and I've done stuff like being out and weddings and things like that. I think that I just need to refocus and stop obsessing about things that don't matter as much or that I can't change, and look more into myself and the things that I can change. I need to maybe stop trying to go full pelt of in like, I am doing this, this and this, and this is all I'm eating. I think I need to look at it from maybe a health, just like a steady kind of point of view, because all that's happening is I'm losing a bit of weight and then I'm putting it all back on, and losing a bit of weight and putting it all back on. Whereas I'd be better off just eating sensibly and just losing half a pound. And that's okay. I can tell I've put weight on, all in my face. I can tell I've put weight on. My body, I can. I bought some new clothes and they were 16 from a charity shop, and some of them are tight. Some of my clothes that I were wearing are tight, and I'm not enjoying that. And I'm really glad that I've got rid of my bigger clothes, because it'd be so easy just to put clothes on and be a bigger size and feel comfortable and forget about it. So I think that that was quite a positive thing that I did to myself, like got rid of my littler clothes. It's just where I'm at anyway. So I've got weighed this morning and I'm 18 stone 5. It's not really where I want to be, but having an awareness is half of the battle. And I've got a tendency to avoid and kind of be in denial a bit. So I'm quite glad that I've done that. I'm feeling quite insecure. I know that I am this morning. That comes into my relationship as well. Me and Oliver have had a discussion this morning and over the last week or so, really, about mine and his relationship. There's some stuff that I'm unhappy with, but I think some of that is my own like insecurities and the way I'm feeling. And then I'm kind of like putting them onto him a lot. And I need to stop doing that, because I can't look to somebody else to mend me, to make me feel better. I need to look into myself and be happy and take control of myself, because I can't ultimately control the way that somebody else views me. We had a date night the other night and I got dressed up. We went out to a wedding and I got dressed up and he's got no interest in me at all. He said that I look nice. I can't take that away from him. But as like sexually attractive, I am probably the last person he looks at. In fact, I know he is. And that is like hurting me and making me feel crap about myself. We've been to a couple of weddings and it's reignited the like where we got engaged last year. We've been engaged for a year and he keeps saying that like he wants to get married, but then he doesn't. He like says different things. There's like, oh, I want to marry you, but then he doesn't really value marriage, and that makes me feel shit, if I'm going to be honest. I don't want to get married because of that point. I don't want to be somebody's kind of like obligation. I'd like to, if I ever got married, it's because somebody really wants to belong to me and they've got to be that like that mutual love. And I don't think there's that with Oliver. And so we've like had a discussion this morning about it and really like calm and chilled. But he's like said he doesn't really value marriage and it's not, he'll marry me. And does that, but it doesn't really mean much to him. And with that, it's weird because there's parts of that make me feel like I'm not worth it and that he doesn't value me. And then I look into myself and think I'm not good enough. And that like spirals a lot of historic things with me. And so like I've taken the morning to actually sit and think about it, and actually the only person that can make me worth it is me. And it doesn't need to be signified by like somebody else wanting me or thinking I'm good enough to marry and things like that. And like that's something that I'm working on. I probably will touch on that like at a later date, but it's just I'm like recording this so I can see where I am, if that makes sense. So putting all them things like aside, I am at a point now where I'm ready to try to move forward again, to try to work on myself and what I actually want. So that's where I'm at. Actually, just rewind a little bit. In terms of marriage, I continuously put up these barriers. I've had shitty relationships where people have treated me like shit. And I suppose like a defense mechanism is not fully loving somebody, not fully saying that I love anybody, and being like quite dishonest in front of people, saying that it's not something that I want, it's not something I desire, that I don't fully like Oliver, and things like that. Like, fundamentally speaking, I am madly in love with Oliver. I really do love him. He's hurt me quite a few times throughout our relationship by being quite dishonest and cheating in ways of like messaging other girls and his exes and making me feel like I'm just not quite good enough. This is quite raw, and I never, ever, ever really say this to anybody. So recording this and putting it out there is a bit weird. So he's like asked me to marry him, and I felt a bit like he'd made changes where that were concerned and that maybe he actually did value me. And then the discussion this morning that we've just had, where I'm like, well, what are you actually wanting to do, like in terms of marriage? And he's like, yeah, I'll get married, but basically I'll get married just to make me happy and just so I feel loved and I've got that commitment, but actually it means nothing to him. That has just really smacked me in the face and made me think I need to just not want that, because I really need to know that I am worth better than somebody just kind of doing something for me and not really wanting me. Desirability, like our sex life it's like healthy because we do have sex, but actually I feel like he doesn't really put much effort in, and it doesn't really make me feel worth it or sexy or anything. It's all about like serving him and what his wants and desires are. He doesn't seem to be bothered that much about what makes me happy and what's for me. And that is a complete overshare, and I get it, but it's something that's really like hitting home at the minute. I think Tia going away, I used to get a lot of love from Tia and used to feel really safe with her. And now she's leaving me. Well, she's left. And she's still there, and it's like, I'm happy for her. But it's making me look at other aspects of my life, and it's sent me into this spiral of crap. I think hitting my 40th birthday has, the changes I've made, I'm thinking a bit about myself and my own wants and desires, and ultimately I don't think they're being met. So I just don't know where I am on that. There's not like a solution to this, how I'm feeling, but I wanted to catch my channel up on where I am because I feel a bit lost. I'm not gonna lie. Really boring upload, and I get that. Really probably a bizarre upload, and not really one that people were probably expecting. However, I have weighed in anyway, and I am 18 stone 5. I don't know whether the fact that I've put weight on has made me like be smashed a little bit with my self-confidence and things like that. I think it's like a big like mess of everything's like impacting on everything, and it's something that I need to address anyway. So that is my upload gone for today. That is like enough. I am trying to get back on track. I don't know how I'm fully navigating that yet. But I'm going to try a little bit more to put the concentration back onto myself rather than everything else, because to be fair, if I've got that focus, it distracts away from everything else as well, and it builds my own self-esteem and confidence. So that is where I'm at the minute. I will keep updating. I'm hoping to God that I can actually like do this, but we'll see. So wish me luck and think thin.